Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue unpacking classical Chinese concepts. And Chuan is today's concept. We can see simplified traditional and 2000 years ago's seal script format varies from here to here. This beautiful sign. Okay. If you if you have seen a Chinese architecture, sometimes at the very edge of the roof, um, the decorative disc placed at the end of a beam on the roof would have something shaped like this. And we call it a 回字纹. It has this circular spiral thing instead of drawing the complete spiral. But this is kind of a rectangular spiral, right? And that, according to scholars, is about the cloud or the air, kind of a movement in between. And Chinese conceptualize this top frame horizontal line, bottom frame horizontal line as our number two, right? One and two, but it's also our heaven and earth concept. And that's our upper lower boundary of existence. And when we have this spiraling thing in between, that's almost like between heaven and earth, something is happening. The change of energy, right? The spread of energy between heaven and earth. Now, this changing, this almost like a commotion, is framed under this arch with a chimney. So, this arch chimney symbol is one of the major radicals. It's made of, it made the concept of shelter, and in particular, human shelter, because this chimney thing made it clear that we have cooking in there. So it's human, built for human by human. This private to public space separator deep by this arch thing. And then we know this is for human by having this little bit dot over there. So under the roof, and there is heaven and earth commotion, some change happening, spiraling thing that become announced because this originally is related to, in ancient times, how things start to change. It's top down. So this particular shelter roof is palace, is emperor's roof. And that's a deep palace, I guess it's a big space. And then commotion happened over there, commotion in the sense of new message, new order, new thinking, new idea that came from the will or intention verbalized from the emperor. So it's basically the decree of the emperor and the idea spiraling out between heaven and earth because, okay, the emperor in China back then regard themselves as the son of the heaven, right? Kind of have to create some unusual status for themselves. And so they can be the people, have the heaven and earth under their roof, I guess, because they are the one who start this spiral. And that becomes announced. Used to be only the emperor can use this word, right? Because only them start this spiraling or starting some change. It's top-down change. And eventually, like PR, basically, in mass communication era, even Trump, right? Tweet. So different formats. But in ancient times, to pass the words from the emperor, from the message of that, took a lot longer, a lot more efforts to spread out throughout the land. It's rude. We can only imagine back then. So announce, even if today is so easy at your fingertip, you can announce something. If a public figure, instantly, people would know your announcement. But back then, this announcement would come into the format a lot formal, a lot more well thought, a lot more efforts. Sometimes it will be carved into tablets of some hard surface material so that people cannot modulate your message, cannot change anything. And then you have to have a kind of a seal or something, make it very, very official and non-fungible. And that's the ancient way to pass the words from one ruler to everybody else under the rule. Okay, today's 宣传. Well, I want to mention one last thing. You see, in the traditional language, which is 500 years later, from the seal script, this is regular or standardized, streamlined script from the original script. This is the first standardization, and this is the, I guess, a simplification effort after that. And this is a super simplification. So in this step already, this 回字文, this spiraling thing, already got simplified into the sun symbol, which is a totally different icon, which is just spherical ball. I mean, energetic sphere. Okay. This box is rectangularized circle. And then the horizontal line is the energy from the ball. And every earthlings would know from which ball that is our sun symbol. So the sun symbol replaced this spiraling thing. Is a total unfair, but I guess necessary change, because this would take a lot longer to draw it out. So it's kind of looking similar, but this switch kind of disconnect this icon. Like later days, when I was Chinese, I learned the simplified version. It's hard to imagine. I mean, I never put the efforts to imagine how it was created until I unpack it myself to appreciate what announcement was back then. All right. 宣传 means transfer from generation to generation, or transfer from one person to another. Simply word of mouth, or not mouth, but kind of public announcement. In our historical drama, the announcement to a town say the tablet from the emperor reached the local government, and then they would transfer the message to like a big poster pasted on the city wall or city hall, something like that. And then the locals would read off that. I mean, whoever can read would verbally read it out, so those illiterate can hear what the message about. That's how transferred to the local level. Okay, announce, transfer, 宣传, when they pair together, simply means in today's context, propagate. So it's propaganda. 宣传 is from the official, from the government, their storytelling, the message they control, the way they express it, it's their narrative, and then spread it out. And that's propaganda. Exact definition of propaganda is, right? 宣言, announce words. So you make it verbalized. And when we say 言, probably it's not only you verbalize it, it's in a written form to formalize your whatever you announced, the big message there. And that's equivalent to declaration. All right, 宣泄. 泄 means release. And we use, if you know a little bit of Chinese, this is the water symbol. So we use the water to symbolize how to release it. And then announce, release. It's simply through talking, you talk out what's troubling you. It's kind of a therapy through talking. So that's kind of a catharsis, one of the ways of catharsis. And sometimes it could be comes into creative forms. You make something, and through that, you externalize whatever's stressful to you. And 宣泄, or behavior, you can dance it out or work out to get rid of some negative energy there. And 宣泄, even if it starts with this announce here doesn't only mean you verbalize, it means you externalize, you let it out and release. It's implied there that release the stress. We didn't say, but this release means let go. Whatever is negatively impacting you within you, you release it by externalize it. And that's Chinese definition of catharsis. All right, so here we go. 宣